Hare Krishna, Premasindhu Gauranga Prabhu. Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji. Yeah, Prabhuji, I think devotees will join. I think we can start. Hare Krishna devotees, Dandavat Pranam. Welcome to Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Today we are very fortunate to have the association of His Grace Premasindhu Gauranga Prabhu, who will be sharing the nectar from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto number 6, chapter number 2, sloka number 14. And Prabhuji, over to you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. So I welcome all of you for today's Bhagavatam class. Let us begin by chanting prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Utapad Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagra Jatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sasivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhamita He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesh Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namaste Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna. So today we are going to study from the 6th canto, 2nd chapter, 15th and 16th verses. So let us first chant these prayers, these verses. Prabhupada does not give elaborate purport, so we'll discuss something from on this regard in from other Vaishnava literatures. So here in these two verses, the quality or the glory of the holy name is explained. So holy name is non-different than Krishna that we already know. And holy name is the most potent uh, most potent process to get us closer to Krishna, to get us to realize Krishna Prem. And the result which one gets by this process of chanting the holy names, it depends on many factors. That what is the purity of the chanter, what is his intent, what is his intensity, and so many things. So there are different qualities or different levels of chanting the holy names. But even if one chants uh, with a not with the best of the quality, still the holy name, it has its effect. It can liberate one from all sinful actions. So that particular thing is being explained here. So that is also a glory of the holy name. Generally in this world, when people want to get rid of sinful activities, they engage in different aspects of karma kanda. So karma kanda, we know that Vedas are divided into karma kanda, jnana kanda, upasana kanda. So the karma kanda section, it gives you different rituals by which different desires can be fulfilled. all material desires can be fulfilled by karma kanda. And if you commit some mistake or a sinful activity, then the prayashchit can also be done by certain activities which are recommended. So we have seen in the Puranas, somebody does some mistake and the rishi or the saints they tell him that okay, you do this prayashchit, you do this yajna. So in this way, there is a way of doing prayashchitta by karma kanda, and but there are some problems there. We'll discuss that later. That is not complete prayashchitta. And here we see that holy name prayashchitta is basically nullifying one's sinful reactions to whatever extent is possible. So here we see that if somebody is chanting the holy names not very sincerely, he is not the best of the chanters, but he can get a better result of prayashchitta just by being a not very sincere chanter of the holy name than what he can get by being a sincere practitioner of karmakanda. So these two verses they speak about this concept. So 15th verse, Atita's sorry, 15th or 16th or it is 14th
14th
and
and 15th, Prabhu.
okay 14th. So first we'll see 14th. साङ्केत्यं परिहास्यं वा स्तोभं हेलनमेव वा वैकुण्ठनामग्रहणम् अशेषाघहरं विदु. So we know that there are there is Aparadhanam, that is the chanter. He has a lot of anarthas, and he is chanting the Nam with some aparadhas, offenses. So that is one type of chanting. Another type of chanting is called as Namabhas, and Namabhas is the name is not intended to please the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and there are some other factors also by which we can ascertain that this is Namabhas. So this subject matter is very deeply explained in Harinam Chintamani by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So there he explains different types of Namabhas, and all these which we are reading here, they all fall in that category. First is Sanketyam, that is, you are assigning the holy name to some other person, just like the classic case of Ajamil here. So Ajamil is assigning the holy name to his son. So that is Sanketyam. Parihasyam is jokingly. Stobham means as musical entertainment. So sometimes in certain songs, some holy name or see Krishna has hundreds and thousands of names. So in some song, let's say the hero's name is Mohan. So the name Mohan or the name Govinda, let's say the hero's name is Govinda, it is coming. It does not refer to Govinda, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So as musical entertainment, or even when the holy name is sung, the kirtan is done for entertainment. That is also coming here. The purpose of kirtan is to please the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But when kirtan is done in the assembly of non devotees, just to give them some entertainment, that also comes in this category. Then helanam, neglectfully, which means that you are having a conversation and just some terms like Hare Krishna, Hare Bol, it comes out of your mouth neglectfully. So if the holy name is chanted in these ways, these are types of namabhas only. We'll discuss that in detail later. So, Vaikuntha Nama, the holy name, if it is taken even in these ways, which is not a very best way of treating the holy name, still, what happens? Ashesha Aghaharam, unlimited sinful activities can be neutralized. So, the advanced transcendentalists, they know this, that even if, so translation, Prabhupada writes that one who chants the holy name of the Lord is immediately freed from the reactions of unlimited sins, even if he chants indirectly to indicate something else, that is Sanketyam, what Ajamil is doing, and jokingly for musical entertainment or neglectfully. This is accepted by all the learned scholars of the scriptures. So the result which a person gets by engaging in very complicated activities of karma kand or prayaschitta, he can get the same result just by chanting in this way, neglectfully or jokingly. Same result he will get. That is getting freed from uh, the reactions of unlimited sins. Now the next verse also has the same mood, that if somebody chants the holy name in a misfortune, during a misfortune, still he will be saved. So, patitah skalito bhagna sandashtastapta ahatah harir itya evashanaha uman narhati yatana. So, patitah skalito bhagna, if someone falls down somewhere in a pit, skalita is slipped from a hill, and now he is about to die. Bhagna, his bones are broken. Sandashta is bitten by some poisonous uh, living entity. Then Taptaha, so he is having fever. Ahata, injured. So whatever the condition might be, so if he is chanting the holy names of Lord Hari, Lord Krishna, then he can be saved from yatana, hellish conditions. So Srila Prabhupada translates this shloka as, if one chants the holy name of Hari and then dies because of an accidental misfortune, such as falling from the top of a house, slipping and suffering broken bones while traveling on the road, being bitten by a serpent, being afflicted with pain and high fever, or being injured by a weapon, one is immediately absolved from having to enter hellish life, even though he is sinful. So, why he is to absolved from having to enter hell, even when he is sinful? Because just by chanting the holy name, he is released from uh, so much sinful activity, just like it was described in the previous verse. So here also it is not said that he is chanting Shuddhanam, pure holy name. Whatever kind of chanting it is there. So when the body is not in a very good shape, the mind is also not in a good shape. The mind is afraid of death. So even in that condition, you are chanting the holy name. So you will be saved from going to hellish life. Even the person who is sinful, who is chanting the holy name. So this is explained here. Prabhupada writes, he quotes from Bhagavad Gita, 8th chapter. Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam त्यजत यन्ते कलेवरम तम तम एवेति कौन्तेय सदा तद भाव भावितः. Krishna writes in the 8th chapter that whatever state of being one remembers when he quits his body, that state he will attain without fail. If one practices chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, he is naturally expected to chant Hare Krishna when he meets with some accident. So, those of us who are sadhakas and who are chanting every day, so naturally, in the times of difficulty, the holy name comes to the mind. But Prabhupada writes further here, even without such practice, however, as it is written in this verse, that the person is sinful person and still is chanting. If one somehow or other chants the holy name of the Lord, Hare Krishna, when he meets with an accident and dies, he will be saved from hellish life after death. So even if a person is not chanting to go back to Godhead, or he is not a advanced devotee, or he may not be a practicing devotee, somehow he is chanting the holy name, just like we see in the case of Ajamil, then he will be saved from hellish life, just like Ajamil was saved. The Yamdutas came to take him, but the Vishnudutas also appeared there. So he will be saved from hellish life because his sins will be vanquished. So these two verses they speak about Namabhas chanting. So once Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu he went to Haridas Thakur and he told Haridas Thakur that I am very much worried that how the Mlechas and Yavanas they will be delivered. So that is why so Haridas Thakur said that don't worry, Lord. So we will chant very loudly the holy names, and they will hear and they will be delivered. And sometimes the Yavanas and Mlechas they are chanting Namabhas, like they use the word Haram, where the Ram is also there. So this is Namabhas chanting. Of course, Namabhas has many considerations that we will discuss. That a sinful person who is chanting haram, so he'll not get the same effect as Ajamil. But definitely, some of his sinful activities will be vanquished. That is for sure. So, in this way, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu becomes little pacified. He is very much concerned that how the Yavanas and Mlechas, those who don't accept Sanatan Dharma and the tenets of chanting the holy name, the glories of the holy name, they don't know the holy, they don't accept the holy name also, how they will be delivered. So we see that the name of Krishna is non-different than Krishna because he is absolute. So Krishna is free from all dualities. The name is non-different than Krishna himself. So it is said that in Gaudiya Vaishnava Siddhanta that the holy name is the main means for doing sadhana. When we are doing sadhana, sadhana bhakti, then the holy name is the main means. And it is also the goal. So sadhan and sadhya, both. Sadhana means the activity which you do to attain siddhi, perfection. And sadhya is something you want to attain. For example, by chanting the holy name, you want to attain Krishna prema or service to Krishna. That is sadhya. So even when the perfection is achieved, still the holy name is chanted. It is not only the means, but it is also the goal. In the spiritual world, also, devotees are chanting the holy name. So uh, there are three types of chanting, so that we have already studied previously so many times. First is called as aparadhanam or namaparad, which means that offensive chanting. So here, the holy name of the Lord does not uh, lack in potency. The holy name is always the same, but the person who is chanting, he he lacks purity, potency. So that is why the holy name, which is coming out of his mouth, it may not deliver another person. It may not deliver himself. So that holy name, although it has the same potency always, but it does not manifest the same potency. When the holy name is coming out of the mouth of a pure person or a pure devotee, then it manifests that kind of purity, because the holy name is non different than Krishna. So the way a person is chanting with the mood, with the intensity, so that kind of reciprocation the holy name also gives. So Namaprad is offensive chanting. Then Namabhas, Prabhupada calls it as clearing stage. Clearing stage means it's better than Namaprad. So it is powerful, very powerful. Just like a medicine can act, even if the person who is taking the medicine does not understand the potency of the medicine. It acts like a medicine. But the intent of pure devotional service or prema, it is lacking. Bhava is lacking. Not prema, even the one stage before bhava, that is lacking in namabhas. That is why namabhas uh, can lead to prema if the intent is proper. Otherwise, it can lead to other things also. There are different categories of namabhas. We'll study them. Then the third one is pure holy name, Shuddhanam. Shuddhanam, it gives Krishna Prem. So Namabhas is a key junction because it can grant mukti, it can destroy karmic backlog, just like in case of Ajamil, and it can lead to prema also. All three things are possible. Mukti means impersonal liberation. So Namabhas can give impersonal liberation also. It can take one to Vaikuntha also, and it can destroy one's karmic backlog. So all three things are possible because there are different categories of Namabhas also. So the holy name of Krishna is identical to Krishna Abhinnatvam Nama Namino. And the holy name is coming from the Lord's internal potency, Chit Shakti. And therefore the name is Purna Shuddha Nitya Mukta. So it is Purna, complete, Shuddha, that is pure, and Nitya Mukta, eternally liberated. So it is complete, it is pure, and it is eternally liberated. So that is why the holy name, it is like the sun. The sun is always shining, but we may not perceive the sun due to the coverings of our anarthas. Just like the person who is chanting Aparadhanam. So the holy name is there. It's like the sun always shining. But he may not perceive the complete potency of the holy name because of the coverings of his own anarthas. So, what are these coverings which are blocking the sun? our vision of seeing the sun or experiencing the potency of the sun? What are the barriers that block the perception of the holy name? So there are two main coverings. First is ajnana, that is ignorance. Ajnana or ignorance means confusion about our identity. We have forgotten our real identity. So, what is our identity? That the spirit soul is the servant of Krishna. That is the identity. It can be understood in many ways. First level is Aham Brahmasmi, that is, I am not this body, I am the soul. Second is that I am servant of Krishna. And third is called as Swarup Prapti. That happens when somebody is very advanced. Then Krishna will reveal that what is his actual identity in the Vaikuntha planets. But basically, one has to understand that, like on the platform of sadhakas, we should know that our identity is we are servants of Krishna, and all the ignorance it comes because of acting on the platform of different identities in this world. Sometimes we feel we are this, sometimes we feel we are that, but we are neither, and so it creates a confusion that is called as ajnana, ignorance. Second are anarthas. Anarthas are unwanted habits. So first is ajnana, second is anarthas. So ajnana and anarthas, they block the perception of the potency of the holy name, just like clouds are blocking the vision of the sun. So we can discuss this in detail also, because this verse it relates to how the chanting of the holy name is better than karma kanda process. So if you see the 10 offenses towards the holy name of the Lord, they are coming from Padma Puran. The fifth offense is called as Arthavad. Arthavad means exaggerated uh, reference to something. So the Vedas, they sometimes use Arthavad. Arthavad means that, let's say that certain samhitas in the Karma Kanda, they want you to worship Vayu, the demigod Vayu. And then they say that Vayu is the best of the demigods. And so one should offer a horse in sacrifice to Vayu. And other times in the same Samhita, they will say that by offering a horse in the sacrifice to Vayu, one can get so many benefits. So here we see Arthavad. Arthavad means that particular part of the Vedas, it wants you to engage in some kind of karma kanda activity. You do this ritual and you'll get this pious benefit. By getting pious benefit, you will get enjoyment. So this is called as Arthavad. We can discuss this in more detail that in Karma Kand, or which is also called as Purva Mimamsa, in the six systems of Vedic philosophy, Shad Darshan, there is Purva Mimamsa, which is called as Karma Kand, and Uttar Mimamsa, that is Vedanta Sutra. So in Purva Mimamsa, there are five types of referencing, and one is called as Arthavad. So Arthavad means you want to get something, and there is an exaggerated reference to give you an impetus to do that. But in case of holy name, the holy name itself is the process. When you say that holy name should be chanted, so it is not for getting some fun or promising benefits to attract people to karma kanda, or basically dharma, the path of dharma. It's not like that. The holy name is the goal all itself. The holy name is goal also. It is not only the process. So Ajamil is chanting the holy name once, and he is becoming free from his sins. So Ajamil's fear, okay, that we will not discuss because that is not explained here. So what exactly is Namabhas? What exactly is Namabhas? Namabhas means a semblance or reflection of the name. So Namabhas happens when, number one, the name is chanted without an explicit intent. Okay. It means the intent is not to chant the holy name. So that is one possibility, like in case of Ajamil. Second is the holy name might be chanted, just like a sadhaka is chanting holy name. He is chanting the holy name for Krishna only. He is not chanting the holy name for his son or to call his son. But that holy name is chanted without bhava. Okay. That is the second consideration. And the third is that the 10 nama pradas, they are not blocking the holy name. That is also called as namabhas. In nama aparad, the 10 aparadas are blocking the holy name. But sometimes, let's say a sincere sadhaka is there and he's progressing on the path of chanting the holy name. Then uh, the 10 nam aparadhas may not be there. But also, bhava and prem have not yet manifested. So, in that case, then the holy name it works like fire or medicine. If you unknowingly put hand in the fire, still it works. If you unknowingly take the medicine, still it is going to help you. So there are four varieties of namabhas which Bhaktivinoda Thakur tells in Harinam Chintamani. First is Sanketa, as it was told in this verse only, 14th verse. Sanketa means chanting while referring to something else, just like Ajamil is calling his son. Second is called as Parihas, means joking. Again, the same thing. These are the four same categories which Bhaktivinoda Thakur tells from this same verse, 14th verse. Second is Parihas, that is joking, that is chanting in mockery, or jokingly. So, of course, one thing which one has to carefully understand in these four categories which are mentioned in the 14th verse, Sanketa, that is indirectly indicating something else, Parihasa, jokingly. Then Stobha means musical entertainment or, like part of a song, or sometimes even angrily one might say something, use the holy name. That is called as Stobha. And the fourth is Hela means negligently. Again, the same thing comes in the verse negligently, carelessly, absent-mindedly, absent-mindedly chanting something. You're chanting when you're walking, eating, sleeping, so like that. So these four varieties of unintentional chanting, they give the result of clearing all the sinful activities. But one thing is very important here that while doing these things, there should not be offense. For example, parihas, jokingly chanting the holy name. It should not be having the offense toward devotees or offense towards Krishna. Sanketa, indirectly pointing towards something. It should not have offense toward Krishna or offense towards devotees. Then it will give the result of clearing of the sinful activities. Otherwise, it will not give. So this Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says in the commentary of these two verses that definitely this type of namabhas gives the result of clearing of the uh, sinful activities. But if it is done with offensive mentality, it will not give that result. So that is important. So anyway, these are the four types of unintentional chanting. Now, there are again two types of categories of namabhas. These are the types of namabhas, the four types in which one can chant the holy name. Now, there are two more categories. Again, this Bhaktivinoda Thakur explains. First is called as Chhaya namabhas. Chhaya means shadow. So, Chhaya namabhas. And the second is Pratibimba namabhas. Pratibimba means reflection. So there are these two types of namabhas, Chhaya namabhas and Pratibimba namabhas. So by this distinction, we understand why by chanting namabhas, some individuals can reach Vaikuntha, while others they might get impersonal liberation, that is Brahma Sayujya. So what is Chhaya namabhas? The first category, shadow namabhas. It is caused by simple ignorance, simple ajnana. The person, he does not have a deviant philosophy. He is an ignorant person. He is not a intelligent person who is trying to dive into some deviant philosophy. No, he is a simple foolish person. Okay. And if he is chanting this Chhaya Namabhas, then gradually it leads to Shuddha Nam, and then he can go to Vaikuntha. So this is the classic case of Ajamil. We see Ajamil. He is chanting Chhaya Namabhas. He is not having some deviant philosophy like Mayavad. So he is a foolish person who is chanting the holy name just to call his son. He is Agyana. He is in Agyana, ignorance. But because he is chanting without offense and no deviant philosophy is there, what happens? When he chanted the holy name, he was chanting this Narayan Narayan for many years. So it was a regular practice. So why the Vishnu Dutas came in case of Ajamila? Why they don't come in case of everybody? So another, the Acharyas explain. First reason is that he was chanting regularly, everyday chanting. So many years he was chanting Narayan, at least few years. Then the second thing is that when he chanted, there was great intensity, artha. The intensity with which you chant also attracts different kind of attention from Krishna and his associates. So when he chanted with great intensity. Third is that he chanted with little affection. So this is a very big subject matter of Namabhas. We cannot go into detail. There are many aspects to it. So uh, he also chanted with some affection, not to Krishna, but to his son. And the fourth thing is that he was not having any offenses towards devotees or any offensive mentality towards the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is why the Vishnu thus came. But of course, the Vishnu thus did not take him directly because Namabhas can lead to Shuddhanam, but Namabhas cannot directly lead to Vaikuntha. When Namabhas leads to Shuddhanam, then Shuddhanam it gives love of Godhead, and then one can go to Vaikuntha. That is why, in case of Ajamil also, the Vishnudutas, they gave him an opportunity to purify himself and come to the stage of Shuddhanam. And then, after few years, they again came back to take him to Vaikuntha. Otherwise, that time itself, they would have taken him back to Vaikuntha. But unless one develops Krishna Prem or whatever Narayan Prem, he cannot go to Vaikuntha. So, in case of Ajamil also, he went to Haridwar and he developed pure devotion to Lord Narayan. Then he went to Vaikuntha. So, this is Chaya Namabhas. Second is called as Pratibimba Namabhas. It comes when chanting is influenced by a deviant philosophy like Mayavad or impersonalistic philosophy. So the person has a desire for impersonal liberation. We see that so many impersonalists also they are doing Bhagavad Katha. They also do Kirtan. They also chant the holy names. But their mind is influenced by desire for impersonal liberation. So this Pratibimba Namabhas it leads to Brahma Sayujya, Sayujya Mukti. So these are the two types of Namabhas which are also explained here. So basically, we see that Ajamil he began as a pious Brahmana, you know. Then he fell after seeing the immoral scene in the forest. Then he abandoned his wife and parents. He became a notorious sinner and he lived for about 88 years, focused on his sons, and he had a deep attachment to his youngest son Narayan. And because he named his son Narayan, that ultimately became an arrangement for his deliverance. So on his deathbed, when the Yamadutas they came to take him to hell out of fear and attachment to his son, he called Narayana very intensely. And as we discussed, there were four reasons why Vishnudas came. Immediately they came there. And so there is a debate between Yamdutas and Vishnudutas. So Yamdutas are saying that he is a criminal because he is sinful and he has not done prayaschitta. The Yamdutas do not know that prayaschitta, for doing prayaschitta, only karma kanda is not the process. There is a better process of chanting the holy names. Just by chanting namabhas, the same result of prayaschitta can be attained. So Yamdutas are saying that he is a criminal because he has not done any prayaschitta. And the Vishnudutas they are saying that uttering the uh, Vaikuntha Nam, as it is said in the 14th verse, chanting Narayana is supreme prayaschitta. He does not have to do any prayaschitta. He has already done prayaschitta because it has destroyed sins of many, many lifetimes. So, uh, so here we see that we can discuss much, but the time is running out. Basically, in Vedic prayaschitta, it is a cycle of sin, atonement, again doing sin, again atonement. As Parikshit Maharaj says, it is like the elephant is taking bath, and he is again coming out, rolling in the dust. Again, he takes bath. It's like that. So atonement uh, through karma kanda or prayaschitta through karma kanda, it removes the fruit, phala, but it does not remove the bija or the seed desire. The seed desire, the bija, can be removed only by namabhas. or chanting of the holy names. So by these karma kanda activities, that okay, you have done this sin, so now you do this yajna. The phala is removed, but the bija is not removed. The bija can be removed only by chanting of the holy names. So karmakanda based prayaschitta is therefore mechanical process. But the holy name, it works through the Lord's personal reciprocation. That's why it's a complete process. So to conclude, the holy name has complete power to destroy sins and give liberation. It can give impersonal liberation, as we discussed earlier. It can give Shuddhanam and eventually Vaikuntha also, just like in case of Ajamil. So, where the person goes by chanting Namabhas, it depends on his offensive status, how much offense he has, whether he has a deviant philosophy which he is following, and what is his mood. So, all these things they decide what his destination will be. So, the case of Ajamil, it proves that even when somebody is living in a very degraded way, he can be redeemed through an affectionate chanting. If he does not have a deviant philosophy and he is free from offenses. So, the Namabhas, the highest thing which Namabhas can give is not freedom from sinful activities, as it is described in these two verses. Definitely, it can give. Neither it is impersonal liberation, which Namabhas can also give, mukti, but rather the highest thing which Namabhas can give is Shuddha Nam, which is the gateway to eternal personal service to the Lord in spiritual planets. So uh, that is how we analyze Namabhas here. And there are many other things which we can speak, but now the time is not there. So basically, in these verses, we see that Namabhas as a function of removing sinful activities, which is something very basic. So that's why in one place Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says the karmakandis they are trying to do some prayaschitta by different rituals which are explained in the karmakanda section. They are also trying to get pious activities by doing these activities. The yogis, that is the jnanis, they want mukti. Mukti means Brahma Sayujya. For that, there are different processes. Some are studying the Vedas very scrutinizingly, doing a lot of tapasyas. Others, they are taking a path of Ashtanga Yoga and again engaging in very severe tapasya. And the path of Jnana and Yoga, it requires many lifetimes to perfect. To attain Brahma Sayujya, it requires lifetimes of practice. But somebody who is an enemy of Krishna, he wants to kill Krishna, like Putana. Now, of course, Putana is a special case. She went to spiritual world. Let's say, uh, like Aghasur, Bakasur. They also get Sayujya, Brahma Sayujya, when Krishna kills them. They are not doing any tapasya. So the same thing which you get by following one section of the Vedas for many lifetimes and doing so much tapasya, you get the same thing just by thinking about Krishna offensively, like the demons. So what is the need of doing so much tapasya? If you want Brahma Sayujya, just chant. Okay, if you don't want to go to Vaikuntha or Goloka, you can go to Brahma Jyoti, no problem. Why you are wasting your time? Same with the case of karma kandis. Whatever you want, just by chanting, whether you want atonement, you will get complete atonement by chanting the holy name. In case of karma kanda, as we discussed, the bija is not removed. the seed desire. Or even if you want to get some material desires fulfilled, still you should do bhakti. In the first canto of Bhagavatam, we see that akama sarva kamo moksha kama udharati. Whether somebody is akama, he has no desire, or whether one is sarva kama, he has all the desires, or he is moksha kama, he has his desire is moksha. In all the three circumstances, uh, yajeta purusha param. So he should worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Dhruva Maharaj, he had so many material desires. He is not worshipping Krishna for bhakti. And so he got all his desires fulfilled, but the advantage is that he also got bhakti. And once you get any material desires from Krishna, then you lose the desire for those material desires. That is the advantage. If you get material desires fulfilled through karma kanda, then the bija will remain. In case of enjoyment, bija remains. In case of prayaschitta also, bija remains. In case of Krishna bhakti, atonement, it is complete. And enjoyment, like in case of Dhruv Maharaj, we see, he gets what he wanted, but then he loses the desire for it because he has got something much more than that kingdom, which is the darshan of Lord Vishnu. So then he loses that desire. He does not want to do it anymore. So that is the glory of the holy name. So we stop here. Any questions?
Thank you very much for very beautifully explaining the glories of holy name. I have a couple of questions, but I will ask the devotees to open up their mic and share the questions or questions.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranams. Thanks for the class, Prabhu. Prabhu, I did not understand. Does Namabhasa remove the seed of the sinful reactions or no, Prabhu?
Yes, it removes Amavas, like we see in case of Ajamil. So it removed his seed, And that is why uh, after that episode when he saw the Yamudutas and Vishnudutas, then what he did, he left his family, he went to Haridwar and he completely engaged to purify himself. So his seed is removed. Seed of desire is completely removed. Desire and also offense. He did not have offense. He was not associating with devotees only. But the sinful activity, the seed for enjoyment or that was removed completely.
Thank you, Prabhu. I was wondering because he continued to do sins even while chanting. So I asked.
Yeah. So when he chanted Narayana at the time of his death, that was the actual Namabhas chanting. Before that, that intensity was not there.
Yes.
And
Thank you.
In the scriptures, we read so many times just by chanting the holy name once, one can be delivered, isn't it? But for that, many other factors are required. That being free from offenses, then the intensity, the mood. So when everything matches, then one holy name can save you. Otherwise, it's the terms and conditions apply for that. It's not like that.
Yes. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Dandavat Pranams.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandvat Pranam. They
That-
say usually it is not easy to reach the Shuddhanam. We can go up to Namabhasa stage. But you are telling Prabhu in Namabhasa stage we cannot go back to Godhead. Now you also said it removes the seed of the sin. If the seed of the sin is removed and if you continue to do, because is it not possible for us to go back to Godhead?
Yes, so Namabhas, it leads to Shuddhana. And that is why it is said that by Namabhas one can reach to Vaikuntha. But again, it is not that because Namabhas leads to Shuddhanam, that's why you can go to Vaikuntha. That is what it is said. That's what we see in case of Ajamil also. He is chanting Namabhas, but at that point itself he is not taken to Vaikuntha. Only when he develops Shuddhanam, then he is taken to Vaikuntha later on. Otherwise, that time itself, the Vishnudutas would have taken him that, okay, you are ready, so let's go. So, when somebody attains love of Godhead, Krishna Prem, then he becomes eligible to enter spiritual planets. Till
Yes.
that time, he is not eligible. So, Namabhas does not have Bhava and Prema that we discussed earlier, but it leads to Bhava and Prema. So, it's a junction point.
Okay.
So, that is why it is said that it leads to Vaikuntha, like that.
Thank you so much for the wonderful class, Prabhu. Dandavat Pranam.
Right.
Prabhu, how is the weather in
Weather
Vrindavan?
It's clear today.
You're coming after a long time, Prabhu. Please, let's have darshan of
Yes, yes.
over there.
Any other question before that? Comments?
Prabhuji, I have a question. Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
We see like a lot of indicative names. It's not directly referring to the Lord. Like, there are a lot of acronyms. Like recently, Government of India has given acronym like G Ram G. Right, Prabhu? And also there are so many other, acronyms that we use in the technology industry like RAM. No, we call it as RAM, but RAM. And also there are other words in the other languages like hurry, right? Hurry up, hurry. And in the meetings with the other people who are not having any faith in our religion, but they call other, employees like Krishna, Ram, or, Shiva, like that. So those type of people who are, are not actually really calling the Lord's name, but they are calling the name. There is no offense, I believe, because they are calling the colleagues or friends with the name. Their sinful activities will be nullified, Prabhu. Is that
Yeah, so very good question. We could not discuss this in detail. There are so many details which we could have discussed. So basically, again, uh, when Namabhas is chanted by an atheist or envious person, okay, like in this case, as you are saying that in a company, let's say in US, some Indian goes, and his boss is calling him Krishna because that is his name. So he's an atheist or he's a sinful person. He eats cow meat every day. He drinks and he does so many other things. So in this case, the practitioner is an atheist or a sinful person. And his philosophical stance is that he is in denial, he is in denial of Lord's divinity. Okay, that is his philosophical stance. He is in denial of Lord's divinity. So this chanting comes in the category of Namabhas only because it is Sanketa. Sanketa means he is pointing to some other person and chanting the holy name, Krishna. But because he is in denial of Lord's divinity and he is an atheist or a sinful person, the final result of that Namaparad will be continued material suffering only. Then, if somebody is an impersonalist, he wants to merge in Brahman, he can get Sayuja Mukti. If somebody is ignorant, okay, he is not very sinful, he is ignorant. So he does not have any specific philosophical malice. Okay. So he does not have any malice towards the holy name or Sanatan Dharma in specific, or let's say Hindus, Hindus means Sanatan. So Krishna, Rama, the people have heard something that Krishna stole the clothes of gopis and all. So he does not have any malice in his mind or any philosophical malice, specific philosophical malice. He is an ignorant person. Then that is called as Chaya Namabhas, as we discussed earlier. That is going to help him. So let's say the boss is ignorant person. He does not have specific philosophical malice, and then even if he is sinful, definitely it is going to help him in some way. So it will not give him Krishna prem because his intention is not Krishna prem. His intention of chanting is not for developing Krishna prem. So he will not get Krishna prem. But he will get his sinful reactions will definitely will be nullified. But the problem is that he continues to commit sins. And because he continues to commit sins, it will result in his continued material suffering. By some by Krishna's grace or some devotee's grace, if the intent of his Namaprad chanting becomes pleasing the Lord or his own purification, then he will get that kind of result, a different result. So, whatever is the intent of your chanting, that is also very important here. So, if the intent is not to develop Krishna Prem or go back to Godhead, then he will not get that result. He doesn't want it only. So, forcibly, he will not be taken. That we see in case of Ajamil. Ajamil does not have an intent to go back to Godhead. So he was not taken to uh, back to Godhead. He is given another chance. So of course, Ajamil is much better because he already had a Brahminical training in childhood, and also he is a different category. There are many unique things in case of Ajamil. But generally, a person, let's say in this case, then uh, their material suffering will continue, but definitely their sins will go on reducing. But the problem is every day they go on doing new sins. So some benefit is definitely there. Yes.
Thank you, Prabhuji. I have one more question, Prabhuji. Can I ask now?
Yes, bro.
Prabhuji, we have direct name and indirect name of the Lord. Direct name like Rama, Krishna, Govinda, they are all direct name, Prabhuji. Similarly, when we are chanting, we are also chanting the energy of the Lord, right, Prabhuji? Like Srimati Radharani or Sita. So, Mother Sita. So there are other indirect names. Typically in
No,
our
Mother
culture,
Sita and Radha is all, they are also direct names.
yeah, direct, yeah, correct.
Yes.
Correct. There are, indirect names where in our culture we actually name our children either with direct name or indirect name, Prabhuji. Direct name, as we said, it gives benefits like how it has given, big benefit to Jamila. How about the indirect name, Prabhuji, which is actually describing the attribute of the Lord, or it's not direct name as such. How, what benefit it will actually derive, Prabhuji, when they are chanting unintentionally or, like you mentioned, Sanketa or jokingly.
Uh, I'm not very much aware of this distinction that what benefit the indirect name will give. But the direct names of the Lord, they are the sign of bhakti yogis. They are used by the bhakti yogis, and the indirect names they are used by the jnanis because they refer to the qualities of the Lord, not to the Lord directly. So the devotees they are more interested in the Lord Himself rather than His qualities because the person already includes the qualities, all the attributes. So the direct name is a more personal way of addressing the Lord, and that is why it also has more potency. So I cannot exactly say that what will be the benefit or destination, but the direct names definitely are more potent form of names. That much is
So,
there.
when we name our daughters, Prabhuji, we may be naming the daughters like with a direct name like Srimati Radhanani or Mother Sita or Lakshmi, Vaishnavi, like that. So they also will have benefit, Prabhuji, when we are calling them by their name. And
Yeah, why not? Definitely. Somebody who does not know what is the meaning of Sita, he also gets benefit. So definitely we are all practicing devotees. We'll definitely get benefit. See, so Namabhas can be chanted by a sadhaka also, like all of us, and it can be chanted by ignorant person also. So that is why the intent is very important, and intent decides different destinations. For example, a person who is ignorant, let's say somebody is Mlecha or Yavana, he is chanting uh, Rama, like Sita Rama. Okay, his intent is not bhakti, or his intent is not chanting for the pleasure of the Lord. So he will get some result like uh, sins will go away, something like that. And but he will not get the ultimate benefit which Namabhas can give, which is leading one to Shuddhanam. But in our case, we are sadhakas. We are already chanting the holy names for pleasing Krishna. So already our goal in life is to develop bhakti. So when we chant Namabhas, it will lead to accelerated path to Krishna Prema. Even if, okay, let's say that your daughter is having the name Sita, and every time when you are calling your daughter, it's not you are calling consciously, but your life itself, it has a purpose. Your life purpose is not to live an ordinary life like other people. Already, your life has a purpose. So the benefit you get is definitely much better. So you already know the intent. So why you have named your daughter as Sita? The intent is also there. When Ajamil named his son Narayana, he did not have any intent like that. That one day I will call and I'll get some benefit. In your case, the intent is clear. So you'll get that the result which is matching that intent.
thank you very much.
Yes.
Clear of a lot of insight
So
and
the
clarity.
intent is very important here. So that is why it is said that Namabhas can give mukti, Brahma Sayujya. And let's say a sinful person is there, he is chanting Namabhas and he gets mukti. And we are struggling here. We are having so many offenses also. And we are chanting. And perhaps we are chanting Aparadhanam, not even Namabhas. So, although our life's mission is to develop bhakti, but the other person is getting mukti, we are not getting mukti. So, who is better then? He is better or we are better? Definitely, we are better because the holy name's purpose is not to give mukti, it is to give Krishna Prem. So, even if Krishna Prem comes little later for us, you know, it is the thing which should be sought after. We should look for that. We should not look for mukti. So even if we are chanting aparad now, we are having so many anarthas, we are struggling, we are falling down, again getting up, again falling down. But our goal is clear that we want Krishna Prem. So even if it comes after 10 lifetimes, we are better situated than the person who chants Namabhas and attains Sayujya Mukti. That is also explained.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. It's a
Yes.
very beautiful class, and it's clear. It's giving some hope and solace to us. Okay, we are. But sometimes, when we hear, at least for me, when I hear the Ajamila pastime, I used to doubt, oh, okay, are we, better, or are we, because, as a
Yeah,
practicing sadhaka, I
we
keep
are better
committing.
situated than Ajamil. Yes, because Ajamil's intention is not to develop love of Godhead. So this episode of Ajamil, it is not told to. It is not bringing out any glory of Ajamil's sadhana or Ajamil's qualities. It is bringing out the glory of Namabhas. That Namabhas can give so many things. But we are better situated because uh, our goal is fixed. We are on the path of sadhana bhakti. Our goal is Krishna Prem. So we are definitely better situated than Ajamil. Of course, Ajamil thing is that he is a little special case also, and generally the Puranas they speak about special cases. So that is a different discussion. But yes, we are better situated. Yes.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you very much.
Yes. So when Ajamil he saw the Yamdutas and Vishnudutas, and then he got another chance to perfect his life. Okay, he went to Haridwar, and now he's perfecting his life. We are in that category. So if you want to compare our life to Ajamil, we fall in that category. We already know that who goes to Yamdutas or who are the people who are taken by Yamdutas. We also know that who are the people who are taken by Vishnudutas. We know that already. Ajamil was ignorant of that. And so now Ajamil has gone to Haridwar to purify himself. And so we fall in that category. We are also trying to purify ourselves. Only the thing is that Ajamil, after this episode, his intensity of purifying himself was very high. And our intensity may not be that much. So if we also want to purify ourselves with that intensity which Ajamil got, then we are on a similar path, we can say.
Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Yes.
Any other questions, my devotees, or we can have darshan of Giriraj Govardhan?
So we'll just 1 minute. We'll go outside. So can you see Giriraj in the background?
Yes, Prabhu, but little, it's hazy, but we can see.
Behind the houses,
Yes.
you can see Giriraj there.
Thank you so much,
Giriraj
Prabhu.
Govardhan ki jai.
Namaste Girirajate Govardhanamika Seshaklesha Paramanamdada. Hare Krishna.
Okay, Hare Krishna. Thank you very much.
Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Prabhuji. Thank you, devotees.
Prabhupada
We'll
ki
end
jai.
today's session with Vaishnava Pranam.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam.
कल्पतरुभ्यस्य कृपासिन्धुभ्यो पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो श्रीमद् भागवत की जय, जगद्गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की गिरिराज गोवर्धन गिरि की जय, कोटि वैष्णव की जय, जय गौर प्रेमानंद हरि हरि।
Prabhu,
Next
please,
devotees will enter the session. Yes, Mataji.
please send this audio to Radharani Mataji, Prabhu.
Today's class, Mataji.
On this class, Prabhu.
Okay, sure, Mataji.
Oh, thank you, Prabhu.
Please share to me also, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Sure, Mataji.